second day of 1.3. Still solving equations, but another part of solving equations involves those that have more than one variable. These are called literal equations. The trick to solving literal equations is what I would say marking the important variable and treating everything else like a number. Again, you've seen this in Algebra 1, but if you need more examples, let me know and I can try to find a video that I've made in the past. I've been doing online teaching for 4 years now, so I'm pretty sure I've taught this somewhere. But here's the key idea. And I didn't want to go through all the work to make this larger because all of my notes were too small. But anyway, hopefully you can see this. If not, actually I think you should be able to see it. Just maximize your screen and it should pop up better. X plus 3 equals 8. What we did here was we subtracted 3 because we wanted the x by itself, and x equaled 5. These two are the same, except it's x plus y equals 6. If I wanted to get x by itself, first thing I would do is put a little dot by the x because I know that's what I want by itself, which means I don't want the y. And notice I moved the 3 by subtracting it. You're going to move your y the same way. You might want to jot these down just to make sure you've got it, because this is pretty much your basic steps in literal equations, which is moving a number that's added, you subtract, you bring down your x, and you cannot put a 6 and y together, but if you read this it would be 6 minus y, which is how you would write your answer. The answer is ugly, but that is the answer that it's supposed to be. And so that is what always makes literal equations tough for students, is they're used to seeing x equals 7, x equals 15, but when you move a variable you're going to still have that variable over here, and that is going to be the way the answer looks. So again, going through the basic step, if you had 5 times x equals 30, you would move the 5 by dividing by 5, and we would end up with a nice 6. In this case, if I want the x, again I'm going to put a little dot by the x, which means I don't want the y. And since I don't want the y, that is what I divide by. The y's cancel out as they're supposed to, bringing down x, and you can't do anything with this but write 15 over y. And so again, it's an ugly answer, but that is the answer it's supposed to be. And then the last step that we learned is whenever it's x over 4 equals 6 and I want to get rid of this 4, that I multiply by 4. The 4's cancel, as you remember when we got rid of our fractions, and x is 24. Same thing over here. I want x, I do not want y, it's on the bottom, so I get rid of the y by multiplying by y. My y's cancel, x comes down, and 3 times y, as we would officially show this, is 3y. I will tell you I'm a good teacher. I will also tell you that I'm a terrible writer, so make sure you listen to what I say whenever I read it, because it'll help you kind of understand what numbers are in front of you sometimes. Sometimes my numbers can get a little bit ugly. But those represent your 3 key steps. If it's added or subtracted, use its opposite operation. If it's connected, you divide it. If it's on the bottom, you multiply. And that's pretty much what the solving has been reviewing in your lesson so far anyway. Again, the key part to remembering this, I won't say again because this is pretty much what tells you everything you need. And you might want to write this phrase right here. Solve for something means get whatever that something is alone. Alright? So when you look at question A or example A, it says solve 4m plus 3n equals 8 for n. That means that this is what I want to get alone, which means this is the variable that I would put a dot by in my paper, which means everything else is unimportant. Now, keep in mind, this is a 3n, which means this chunk here is important, but what's added to this chunk is 4m, which means this is the furthest away from m, and so I am going to move 4m. How do I move 4m if it's positive and attached by addition? Is you are going to subtract 4m from both sides. These two things cancel. 3n comes down with, again, the way this is written, you can't put them together. It's just 8 minus 4m. I still want n by itself, which means I divide by 3, and n is equal to 8 minus 4m over 3. I will probably have you rewrite this in a fraction form, which also means that you can separate this fraction as 8 over 3 minus 4m over 3, because that's pretty much what this is a reverse distributive property. You're just distributing the negative. So both of these answers are the same. Again, I don't know if I'll make you do that in your homework or not, but you'll know if I do, because I'll explain it in the work that I have there. Solve a plus b minus d for a. Again, solve for a means this is what I want to get alone, which means this is the important piece. It means that since a and b are both together, I can move this here by adding it, which means I end up with a plus b. Again, common sense says I don't need the parentheses because this is gone, and this will be f plus d. And the last thing I want to do, again, I want to get a by itself, so I will subtract b. What I have here is f plus d minus b. And again, ugly answer, but that's what you would end up with. Alright. Solve xy over z minus a for y. Again, this means I want y by itself, which means this is what's important. In this problem here, the furthest thing from y is a. So what I'm going to do is get rid of a by adding it. So I end up with x plus y over z. A is gone, equals b plus a. The next thing I would do, again, if you need to, just mark it again. I want y. That's what's important. The furthest thing from y in this case is z. How do I get rid of a number on the bottom? Remember our basic steps. If it's on the bottom, we will multiply by that value. How you write this is up to you. But again, your z's cancel out, giving us x plus y equals, I guess you could put z parentheses b plus a, or you could put zb plus za, however you want to do that. I think I'll go with that option on your homework, which is to go ahead and just distribute it. And then the last thing we want to do is subtract y from both sides, getting x equals zb plus za minus y, because again, if I would have did that, that's what would have added on to that. I don't know if I'm going to make you show your work, but I think I will give you options on how you show that answer. But again, if that marks you wrong and you can't figure it out, email me and we will figure it out from there. I want you to understand that majority of my students who do well in this class, it's because they communicate with me and I can explain to them what's going on, and once they get it, everything is fine. Last example for this literal equation stuff is wx plus wy equals z for w. And the problem here that you will encounter in your homework is that there are two w's. Well, what do I do when there are two w's? Because I obviously can't get one w alone if there are two of them, and this is where you're going to use the opposite of distributive property called factoring. I want you to think back to last year when you had 3 times x plus 2. I'm sorry, let's go ahead and put x plus y here. And so you were to distribute your 3 to be 3 times x plus 3 times y, and notice that you have two 3's here, that both of these have multiplied. And so instead of going this direction for factoring, you're actually going this direction. Because both of these have a 3, what we're going to do is divide both of these by 3, pull it off, and notice that there's x left over here and y left over here. So it's factoring here. Since both of these have a w, we're going to pull off a w, and we only do that because we want w alone. If we wanted x alone, we wouldn't have to, but because there are two w's and we want w alone, we're going to pull off the w, open a parentheses, what's left here is x plus y. Because remember, if I pull off w, those go away. Equals z. I'm sorry my camera keeps doing this. I'm pretty sure it's bothering your eyes. I'm going to try to figure out how to stop it from zooming every time I write. And then what we do here is important. You want w by itself. It's being multiplied by x plus y, which means, based off of our rules, I should divide by whatever I want to get rid of on both sides. Because x plus y would cancel x plus y, leaving me with just w equals, and of course I can't do anything with this, so my answer is z over x plus y. So again, make sure you go to your homework. Your quiz is Friday. You might be done with this early because I'll try to put all my videos up at the beginning of the week so that those of you who want to try to make sure you are ready for your homework can get ahead. But again, Friday is your quiz. Remember, your quiz is due Monday at midnight. So if you do not finish your quiz by Monday at midnight, it is officially a 0. Do not do that to yourself. Make sure you get to the quiz. Make sure you at least get an effort on the quiz at the latest time that you can. That'll give you the best time. I'll say the latest, but make sure you give me at least a attempt on the quiz by Monday at midnight, because I have to put a score in the book, especially since you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, pretty much 4 days to do this quiz. Make sure you get an attempt in there so that I can give you a grade and not have to put a 0 in the book. But other than that, like I said, be sure to communicate with me. Let me know if something's being missed. Understand that I will help you as long as you have work. I cannot help you if you're just pretty much saying I don't get it. If you don't get it, say, hey, can you give me some can you show me a video or something that I can work on a skill for this question or whatever it might be, and I can try to help you out. Again, I have pretty much designed my own textbooks for about the last 4 years, and so I'm pretty sure I have something out there that'll help you get better at whatever you need. So other than that, again, work on your homework and good luck.